The DNA results are back. For 32 days, a single black glove found on the shoulder of a busy Tucson road was the focal point of the search for Nancy Guthrie. It matched the surveillance footage, it matched the suspect's profile, but the forensic return has just confirmed a devastating contradiction. The profile belongs to a local restaurant worker with no connection to the disappearance. The most promising lead in the Pima County investigation has just evaporated, leaving investigators with a mixed DNA sample that the FBI cannot yet use. The hunt for Nancy Guthrie isn't just slowing down, it is being moved behind closed doors. It is Wednesday, the 32nd day since Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home. For over a month, the Pima County Sheriff's Office has maintained a massive, visible presence. But the optics are shifting. Sheriff Nanos has confirmed that the resources are being refocused. This is a sterile term for a significant structural change. A task force consisting of 4 detectives and 1 sergeant is being relocated from the sheriff's headquarters to the FBI field office in Tucson. This move comes at a critical juncture. The public-facing media blitz has cooled. The press conferences have ceased. Behind the scenes, the investigation is grappling with a forensic wall. While the glove was a dead end, the DNA recovered from inside Nancy Guthrie's residence remains the primary hope for a breakthrough. However, that evidence is described as mixed, a technical nightmare for analysts. It is currently being processed in a Florida laboratory, a choice that has raised questions within the law enforcement community. Why Florida, when the FBI's elite facilities at Quantico were reportedly offered? Pause. The answer may lie in the friction between local and federal authorities, a tension that has come to define this case as much as the evidence itself. The relocation of the investigative team to the FBI building signals a transition from a broad search to a grind phase. Early in the investigation, reports emerged of a strained relationship between Sheriff Nanos and federal agents. Sources indicated that information sharing was not always seamless. By placing Pima County detectives under the same roof as the FBI, the department is attempting to force a collaborative environment. But this focus comes at a cost. Previously, nearly every detective in the Pima County Sheriff's Office was assigned to the Guthrie case. That level of commitment was described as unsustainable. Other crimes in the county were being relegated to the back burner. While the department narrows its focus, an outside entity has arrived with a 41-page solution. The United Cajun Navy, a highly organized private search group, has submitted a formal operational plan to the sheriff's office. Their proposal is not a casual volunteer effort. It is a tactical document detailing the deployment of thermal-equipped UAVs, sonar technology, and over 25 specialized canines, including human remains detection teams. Despite the detail of this plan, it currently sits on a desk, unsigned. The United Cajun Navy refuses to deploy without the sheriff's blessing. They have explicitly stated they will operate under the department's command and control, prioritizing evidence preservation. Yet the sheriff's response has been one of calculated distance. A statement from the department suggested that such work is best left to professionals, despite the Cajun Navy's roster, including numerous former law enforcement officers. This raises a difficult question. Why reject dozens of specialized assets and thermal drones when the search area encompasses thousands of acres of unforgiving desert? The internal culture of the Pima County Sheriff's Office is also under scrutiny. Sergeant Aaron Cross, president of the Pima County Deputies Association, has described the relationship between the rank-and-file union and the sheriff as icy. Cross suggests that the sheriff's desire for control may be the primary barrier to external help. While the detectives worked 18-hour days in the initial weeks, the momentum appears to be on a downward trajectory. No new search warrants have been executed by SWAT teams. No hot leads are being chased through the streets of Tucson. Instead, the case is entering a phase of digital exhaustion, analyzing hundreds of thousands of vehicles and thousands of hours of traffic camera footage. The search for Nancy Guthrie has reached a point of procedural stagnation. The public is looking for a hero, and the United Cajun Navy is offering a small army. Their plan includes wash and drainage scanning and heat anomaly identification, techniques designed to find what the human eye misses in the brush. They have dogs. They have insurance, they have the personnel, but they don't have the permission. And according to internal union sources, the reason the sheriff is refusing to sign off might have nothing to do with the search itself, and everything to do with a decades-old grudge involving, to understand the current forensic stalemate, we must look at the mixed DNA. In forensic science, a mixed sample occurs when genetic material from multiple individuals is present on a single piece of evidence. This is common in a residential setting where the victim's DNA is naturally everywhere. The challenge is isolating the foreign contributor. The sheriff's office opted to send this material to a lab in Florida. This decision remains a point of contention. The FBI's laboratory at Quantico is widely considered the gold standard for complex genetic genealogy, yet the Pima County Sheriff's Office chose a lab they were used to working with. If the Florida lab cannot successfully deconvolve the sample, the evidence may never be eligible for CODIS, the National DNA Database. The backup plan is genetic genealogy, the same process used to identify the suspect in the Brian Kohberger case. This involves uploading a profile to public databases like GED Match to find second or third cousins of the suspect. But you cannot upload a mixed sample. You need a clean, isolated profile. Until the Florida lab achieves that, the DNA is essentially a locked door without a key. Then there is the matter of the surveillance footage. The FBI has released clips of a suspect approaching Nancy's door. The individual is wearing a distinctive backpack and has a very specific gait, the way a person walks. Forensic gait analysis can be as identifying as a fingerprint in some cases. Sergeant Aaron Cross, who has worked numerous robberies in the region, noted that the suspect's build and movement are characteristic of someone who knows the area. This leads to the prevailing theory among local investigators. The suspect is a local. The geography of the Guthrie home and the surrounding desert suggests a level of familiarity. A panicked outsider who accidentally kills someone during a burglary is unlikely to take the body with them. It is a high-risk move that involves transporting evidence through a city currently blanketed by police. Yet Nancy is not in the house. She was not found in the immediate vicinity. This suggests premeditation, or at the very least, a prepared disposal plan. The United Cajun Navy's plan specifically targeted the washes, the dry creek beds that crisscross the Tucson desert. In previous cases, such as the disappearance of a young girl years ago, bodies were found just hundreds of yards from the road in these areas. The Cajun Navy's HRD dogs are trained to detect the scent of human remains even in the extreme heat of the Arizona desert. By refusing their help, the sheriff is effectively betting that his 5-person task force can find in thousands of hours of video what 25 dogs could find on the ground. The investigation is currently balanced on a knife edge. The detectives are moving into the FBI building. The DNA is in Florida. The Cajun Navy is on standby. But there is a fact